What's good? It's your boy Ace here, back with another prop video. If you haven't checked my NBA prop video out, I just posted that video before this one. So if you haven't seen that one, go ahead, click on that video, watch that one. I gave out my 2025 recap and my December recap. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and peep that right now. But I got three NFL plays for y'all, and it's going to be in this Panthers and Buccaneers game on Saturday. Big game, obviously. Winner most likely gets in the playoffs. If the Bucks win, they have to have the Saints beat the Falcons, and they'll make the playoffs. If the Panthers win this game, they straight up just go in the playoffs, and the Bucks are eliminated. So very very big game here. And I got three plays for y'all. I usually only have two plays, but I got three plays, and my write ups aren't as long on NFL plays because I feel like you don't need as many details or as much uh like metrics as you do in NBA. So the write ups are pretty fast. And the first play is going to be Chris Godwin over 3.5 receptions. So the best odds for this right now are right here, as you can see right there. But if we look at games with Evans and with Ibuka playing, he is over in all three out of three games with those guys playing, averaging 5.3 receptions per game in those games. And he cashed with 5 receptions his last head to head against the Panthers, which was 2 games ago. So he already cashed in this matchup. Very recent as well, like I said, 2 weeks ago. Like I said, winner makes the playoffs. The loser's season is over basically, unless the Bucks win and then the Falcons beat the Saints and then they're still out. But they're going to play this game like win and it's in. Because if they lose, they're out. So they're going to have to play like that regardless. And then if they do win, they're just going to have to watch the Falcons and Saints game. But anyway, I'm expecting the Panthers to focus on Mike Evans in this game a lot. That should be their defensive priority, is to cover Mike Evans, as that is the Buccaneers' best receiver. J.C. Horn should be on him all game. He should have that shadow matchup. So other players on the Buccaneers are going to have to step up. Mike Evans might still get his because he's at the end of the day he's Mike Evans, right? But still, Chris Godwin, very good receiver. Abuka, very very good receiver. So other receivers, in my opinion, are going to have to step up in this game, and they will be relied upon. And there has been nobody more consistent on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers than Chris Godwin. I think Baker and the Bucks have a lot of trust in Godwin this with the season on the line. I prefer receptions over yards due to his extremely low ADOT, which is average depth of target. In the 3 games with Mike Evans and Ibuka playing, Godwin has a 5.1 average depth of target and an 84% catch rate. His offensive coordinator, Grizzard, has also said that Chris embodies being in the right spot against zones and getting it done. Panthers play the fifth most zone out of all teams since week 10, so he is going against that zone matchup where his offensive coordinator has said he does find the right spots in zone matchups. So I'm loving this play. Chris Godwin over 3.5 receptions. This is my favorite play in this game. I'm going. This play is 0.75 units. The next play is zero point 0.6 units, and then the third play is zero point 0.5 units. So it's in confidence order, and I'll show you guys. I'll have the notes where all three plays are shown, and you guys can pause the video and see it for yourself with the units on it. But this is going to be my favorite play in this game. Chris Godwin over 3.5 receptions, and as I said, best odds are going to be right here. You can pause the video and check which books of these that you have. The next play in this game, let's go ahead and get to that next play. Excuse me. It's going to be Bryce Young over 17.5 rush yards, which is currently on DraftKings, Bovada, and Rebet. So Bryce Young over 17.5 rush yards. He's over this line in 4 straight games, averaging 29.7 rush yards per game in those last 4 games. He cashed in this head-to-head against the Buccaneers 2 weeks ago with 20 yards on 4 rushing attempts. After that game against the Buccaneers, head coach Canales was asked on whether he's growing more comfortable with Bryce Young running the ball. His response was, quote, "We give him opportunities. We love putting the ball in his hand in different ways, whether that's with the RPO or in the keeper game, and he's just showing me that he can do it. He's good, and we can continue to grow our package that way," unquote. So he said that after this Bucks game. I actually took him because of that, because his coach said that. I took him in this Seahawks game last week, and he ended up cashing. I think I posted him at 14.5. His line was 14.5 for the Seahawks game on FanDuel. I took that line. He ended up cashing this with ease. He also had 9 rush attempts, which if you go ahead and look at his game logs throughout the entire year, that was his most rush attempts in a single game this season. Was after the game after his head coach Canales said that quote, where he loves getting him the ball in different ways with the RPO or in the keeper game. So I'm expecting that to continue. He said Oh, I also missed a part of the quote. At the end of the quote, he said, "We can continue to grow our package that way." So it's interesting. He wants to have more plays in their play package with Bryce Young running the ball. He said that. And then the game after, Bryce Young had a season high rush attempts with 9 rush attempts, and he had 27 rush yards in this game. So now with the playoffs on the line, basically, because if they win, they're into the playoffs. So basically, with the playoffs on the line, I'm expecting similar rushing volume now that they've had a few weeks to install these plays and grow their play package. And like I said last game, after his coach said that he had 9 rush attempts, season high 9 rush attempts. It's also a good matchup in general for QB rushing yards. The Bucks have allowed the 6th highest scramble rate out of all teams, so that's a very, very good matchup for obviously scrambling and running and getting yards. They've also have the 13th highest pressure rate out of all teams, so they're running, or not running, sorry, they're getting to the quarterback, which obviously makes quarterbacks roll out and have to run for themselves and run and get out of the pocket. So very good matchup. His coach has literally said that they love getting the ball in his hands and they're working on those running plays for him to grow to have more plays in their arsenal. And season's on the line. Basically, I like this play. Bryce Young over 17.5 rush yards. Currently on DraftKings Mobile at a rebet. I'm going zero point 0.6 units on this because I have been going lesser units on NFL than NBA. And then the last play of the video and in this game is going to be Tet McMillan over 58.5 receiving yards, which is currently minus 114 on FanDuel. So if we go ahead and look at this, it's not the best hit rate, obviously. It's over in 50% of games this year. He's only over in his last 3 out of 7 games, but one of those games was in this head-to-head against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. He had 73 yards against them on 6 receptions and 10 targets, yet he was a ghost last game against the Seahawks. He only had 1 catch for 5 yards last game against the Seahawks. A day after this game, head coach Canales said, quote, "The focal point of our passing offense is Tetairoa McMillan. We try to build formations and try to get him into spots to get him the ball. I didn't do a good enough job of that last week, and we'll make sure that comes alive. And the rest of the passing game kind of opens up from there. When we try to target too many people, it gets watered down." Unquote. So we at least know that the volume will be there. If Canales stays true to his word, the volume will be there in this game for Ted because he said he wants to get him the ball more. So he just has to produce on that volume. Win and they're in the playoffs. Like I said, I'm expecting them to lean on their best receiver. And it's notable that at the end of the quote, Canales stated that they've been targeting too many people outside of Tet McMillan, obviously, because he's talking about getting McMillan more involved. So he's saying that they've been targeting way too many people. They're going to condense those plays. They're not going to have too many plays for other guys. He said that they're going to have more plays for McMillan in the passing game. So I'm expecting a lot of volume to go McMillan's way in this game if Canales, like I said, stays true to his word. And overall, it's a solid matchup in general. The Bucks are allowing the 12th most yards per game to outside receivers. I am going a bit lighter on this play than the other 2 plays, just because, like I said, Tet. I'm expecting the Buccaneers to solely focus on Tet in this game as for the passing game because I'm not so sure that the Panthers have another guy that is as explosive as him. They really don't. And Canales said, like literally the coach said, that we've been throwing too many people outside of Tet. So the Bucks might just hone in on Tet, make somebody else beat them, basically double team Tet with the safety over the top. That might happen in this game. So even though he does get a lot of volume, it might be hard for him to get the ball because he's going against double teams. So I am going a little bit lighter on this play than the other 2 just because there is that factor that I am a little bit worried about. But he's a very good receiver. We'll see how this chess match goes down. I still think he's going to get really good volume here. And you can bet on volume. I'll live with the volume. I'll live with the result. It's all up to him to get the yards, beat his matchup. And this season, Tet has an 11.9 average depth of target, 58.4% catch rate, and 14.08 yards per reception. He's going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who run a lot of cover 2 and cover 3. Against those 2 coverages, Tet's numbers go up across the board to a 12.1 average depth of target, 61.1% catch rate, and 15.4 yards per reception. So very good numbers there. His numbers get boosted against the 2 coverages that Buccaneers use a lot. So very good matchup. Team-wise, very good matchup coverage-wise as well. So those are going to be the 3 plays for this basically almost a playoff game for this Panthers and the Buccaneers game. Remember, guys, if you guys want every single, let me pull up the plays. Those are the 3 plays right there. So units as well. If you guys want every single play that I post, every single NBA play, every single NFL play, and every single MLB play that I post when MLB's in season, make sure you guys join the Discord. The link will be in the description of this video. It's only $15 per month, but you can get your first month for only $5. If you click $15 per month, you'll click join. There'll be a screen that shows you like where to put in your card information, where to put in your Apple Pay or PayPal, whatever you're paying with, whatever. If you scroll down past that, there'll be a promo code section like apply promotional code or whatever. If you go to that promo code section, you type in 2025 spelled out just like this right here. As you can see, you'll get your first month for only $5. That is $5 for the first month, first 30 days of every single NBA and NFL play that I post. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. I am going to change the code to 2026 because obviously we're in 2026 now, but just haven't changed it yet. But those are going to be the 3 plays, the NFL plays for this Panthers-Bucks game. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.